Welcome back everyone, Mariah Monetize here, and in today's video we're going over some very important things. I'm going to be talking about Coinbase and how I feel about keeping my crypto and coins on the platform. We're also going to be going over the Celsius court hearing that happened yesterday and the claim form that just came out, so I'll be giving you all the details there and kind of giving you some insight on what happened at the court hearing and what we can anticipate next. And then last, I'm gonna do a very quick Bitcoin price review. So first things first, get your coins off of Coinbase. I took everything off. I've encouraged all my friends and family to take everything off. It is not worth it. There has been a little bit of FUD surrounding the fact that Coinbase has actually removed the referral program. So before, if you referred someone, you would, I think, both get $10 free in Bitcoin. They might have downgraded it to $5. Well, they have removed it completely. For some reason, this has caused a lot of FUD around Coinbase. And this is the thing. It actually doesn't matter if it's truthful or not. The fact is that people are panicking. They're pulling their funds off Coinbase, and you don't want to be last. So get your funds off of Coinbase. You've been warned. Next, Celsius. There was a court hearing for Celsius yesterday. The next court hearing is going to be in about, I think it's the beginning of August. So what really happened? What was the sum up here? Basically, Celsius spent a lot of time blaming everyone else for their issues. They also requested $3.5 million a week. I repeat, $3.5 million a week to cover salaries, but they also want $750,000 a week to pay directors, officers, and stockholders. It's just like, if you haven't gotten angry yet about the situation with Celsius and their lack of communication, wanting that kind of money to cover salaries a week is disgusting, in my personal opinion. So this is the thing. You have to take into consideration that the company that was hired, the law firm to help Celsius deal with this Chapter 11, their job is to protect Celsius, not to protect depositors. And that's why we saw what we did yesterday. So we also got an email from Celsius basically talking about their first appearance before the court in connection with the reorganization. This is a significant step in the process, and we wanted to share important updates with our community. We are encouraged to hear the U.S. trustee is working quickly to form the creditors committee, the vast majority of which will be our customers. Okay, so if you want to be part of the creditors committee, there is a link for that. This right here is the form, and I'll go ahead and put it in the description down below. So I've heard talks about, people applying that have $1 million or more on the platform, but this is an option. If you feel so inclined to be on the creditors committee, this is an option for you. And this is what CEO Alex looked like since the last time he did his AMA on June 10th. So looking a little bit serious and wearing some new attire that I've never seen him in. So it was also mentioned, we do not intend to force customers to take their recovery in fiat currency. All is not lost. We intend for this to be a reorganization, Nash said. He also expects the vast majority of Celsius customers will be interested in remaining long crypto. So there's a few different scenarios that could play out in all of this. We could basically we could have the option of taking our funds back now at a reduced price. I don't know what that percentage of our overall deposit would entail. There's also a possibility that waiting for the price to go up for the bull run to happen and to be possibly able to take out a higher percentage of our overall holdings. So I'm not really sure if we're gonna get the choice on that or if we're just going to be given an option without having to really choose. Me personally, I don't know how I would feel because a lot would it depends on the timing actually is how I feel about it. For me, the timing is really important. So it depends what the price of Bitcoin at. It depends what that percentage is like. So for example, if I can get maybe less back in USD, but I think that there's going to be a buying opportunity coming up because I think a massive buying opportunity is going to come at the end of this year. So timing is going to be really important. I do not have a particular direction that I'm leaning towards because like I said, timing is going to be, in my opinion, very crucial when it comes down to this. But plan to not get your funds back for an extended period of time. In my opinion, it is not emotionally worth it to be dependent on seeing your funds in the next few months. I do not see that happening. I don't think it's smart to plan in that direction. There was also talk about the custody accounts versus the earn accounts. There's not a lot of clarity there. Obviously, the custody accounts were introduced not that long ago. Some people think that there's a possibility that the custody accounts could be prioritized, but we don't have enough clarity on that yet. Also, Nash says that Celsius is not currently issuing margin calls, unclear how long that can have been going on for, since numerous customers have reported facing margin calls after Celsius suspended withdrawals on 6/2. Celsius is also looking to sell GK8, which they announced they would acquire in November, but if they don't get a bid that they like, they plan on folding it into the reorganization plan. It's also reported that Celsius lost $15.8 million in the Terra Luna collapse. Celsius had pulled hundreds of millions of dollars from the Anchor protocol just as Terra began to depeg. I mean, Celsius reported pulling out like $400 million. So if they would not have done that, the scope of this entire situation could be much, much worse. So the next hearing is going to be August 10th at 11 a.m. And I believe these are online live if you want to watch them. So also the claim form that I had mentioned in my previous videos has come out. So I have not filled this out yet. I think it's going to be important for me to consult with someone before filling this out. Some of these things are very basic to fill out, like your personal information. And then other things like, what is the basis of the claim? And so the answers to this could potentially matter. Is all or part of the claim secured? Is a claim based on a lease? Is a claim subject to a right of set-off? So just things to consider here. Once I get more information on the best, most proper way to fill this out, I will be passing that along to all of you. It is our intention to file a plan that will provide customers with an option to remain long crypto. So that's what Celsius is kind of leaning on, is that they are assuming that we want to be long on crypto, which I am long on crypto in the long run, but not necessarily in the short term. So that makes a difference there. So Simon Dixon, we obviously know that his company, Bank to the Future, has a 5%, I believe, stake in Celsius. So basically, he's been, obviously talking about this situation for days now. And so he basically mentioned here, sell is simply a deposit if held on the main Celsius Network app. A creditor, like everybody else, is held on the app. Once Celsius Network provides a breakdown of each crypto held on the app, a recovery plan can be fully constructed for the committee. So he's obviously expressing a lot of his frustration towards Alex. So that is the update that we have there from Celsius. Now moving on to a Bitcoin price review. We're going to do this rather quickly here. We're going to go and zoom out to the 7-day chart. Bitcoin currently sitting at $22,165. So I want to obviously see this green moving average crossing over the red. We actually do have something pretty big here on the weekly chart. We have a green 2 trading with a green 1. That could potentially be a good sign. But like I said, I still do not believe that the bottom is in. This right here is a daily chart, which is actually seeing some resistance over here at this moving average, which I anticipated, but we have seen a higher high on the daily chart. Next few days are going to be extremely interesting with the Bitcoin price action to see if we can get above and close above that moving average. This right here is the 12-hour chart, which has also made a higher high and looking somewhat healthy, but as you can see here, we are still seeing some pushback from that particular moving average. This is a 4-hour chart, a little bit of a pullback. We'd like to see it make a higher high, but it is going to be tough with that current moving average sitting there. This right here is the 1-hour chart. Looking a little bit more on the weak side. Bitcoin just dropped about $100 since I mentioned the price last, sitting at $22,066. We want to see a higher high on the daily, but once again, we're going to see price some resistance there. This right here is a 30-minute chart looking weak. So I would guess that we might see some weakness in SPY today. We have seen some weakness. Let's see here. Actually, the market just opened 15 minutes ago with a gap up. So let's go ahead and see how Bitcoin kind of responds as we approach 10 a.m. So let's see. Marijuana stocks opening today. Tilroy down a little bit and other stocks up slightly. So yeah, there is a bill coming up here when it comes to marijuana related that could be influencing the price, and that's why we kind of saw a jump. I believe that was Thursday or Friday. So overall, I still believe that the bottom is not in on Bitcoin. I think we could see a little bit of a jump here, but this moving average is going to be really interesting to watch on Bitcoin. So gonna just stay patient and see how things are going. And really quickly, I haven't even been taking a look at the price of the Cell token, but it is actually sitting at 77 cents, which is kind of surprising. So that's all that I have for you today. We'll go ahead and put the links down below for the claim form as well as the committee form. And so as always, go out there and create a portfolio that you love.